Hi, and welcome to Pronunciation with Paul. Today we're going to talk about rhotic vowels. Rhotic vowels, what are they when they're at home? Are coloured vowels. Words in which the vowel is followed by the R. And as you hear me doing in American English, burn, barn, born, in American English, of course, the R is sounded. Let's talk about how that happens, because it's so different from the way it happens in other languages, isn't it? We don't say burn and barn and born, or burn and barn and born, or we don't say burn and barn and born as they do in British English and American British English and say Australian English, for example. So most of the world who learn English want to learn American style. Rhotic vowels, our coloured vowels, are the order of the day. There are several lexical sets, and if you've been following my blogs, you'll know that there are several lexical sets, several families of words in which the R follows the vowel. Let me quickly review those lexical sets for you. They are start, north and force, nurse, letter, near, square, and cure. But today I'm going to focus on just one of those lexical sets, nurse, the lexical set known as nurse. There are many, many different spellings of English words, all taking that same pronunciation. Let's review some of them. We might find it spelled UR, as in hurt, church, and murder. We might find it spelled IR, in dirt, or even YR in myrtle, MYRTLE. Or we might find it spelled ER, as in perch and nerve, OR, as in work and attorney, even just a single O, as in Colonel, Colonel Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken fame, Colonel, the Colonel. And we have some other wild card ones like connoisseur, coming from the French connoisseur, EUR. So many, many different words in English take the required sound and fall into the family of words known as nurse. Let's practice some of those. I'll say them, you repeat them. How's that? So let's go through that list that I spoke of just earlier. So I'll leave a pause for you to repeat these words. Hurt, church, murder, dirt, myrtle, perch, nerve, earth, work, journal, attorney, colonel, connoisseur. Let me zoom in a little bit and talk about how the mouth works, how that R sound is made. So if I come a little closer on my mouth, you'll see that in American English the nurse words are slightly lip rounded. The lips are pursed forward a little bit, as opposed to say British English, earth, dirt, nurse, earth, dirt, nurse. So the lips are pursed forward, a little bit of a kissing sensation perhaps, a little bit of lip rounding. What's happening inside the mouth? Well, I don't have a webcam inside my mouth, unfortunately, but if you could peek in there, you'd see that my tongue tip is curled back slightly, and there's another way of making that sound, and that is with the tongue tip flat on the floor of the mouth, but the center of the tongue bunched and tense. There, as I said it that time, bird, nurse. My tongue tip is down, but the center of my tongue is bunched and tensed. Isn't that interesting? So with the lips slightly rounded and pursed forward, and either the tongue tip curled back, nurse, or center of the tongue bunched, nurse, 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 you have that impression of our coloration, rhoticity, as we call it. There's one final factor that influences our perception of rhoticity, and that is what's called tongue root tension, a certain tension in the root of the tongue. So for the very, very hardest R sounds, as we might find in some American dialects, burn, burn. I've got tongue root tension, I've got lip rounding, and I've got center of the tongue bunching and tensing. And that's how that's done. So where should we go from here? Let's perhaps try those words once again. And now that I've explained how rhoticity is achieved, try rounding the lips, pursing the lips, and perhaps bunching and tensing the center of the tongue. Here we go again on that same list of words. Here we go. Hurt, church, murder, dirt, myrtle, perch, nerve, earth, work, journal, attorney, colonel, connoisseur. All right, now let's back me up so that I'm not quite so in your face. And let's try finishing up with a sentence that employs many of those different spellings. And the sentence is, Colonel Shirley's early bird murdered her first worm. Here it comes again. Colonel Shirley's early bird murdered her first worm. Your turn. Let me give it to you one more time and you repeat. Colonel Shirley's early bird murdered her first worm. So I hope you'll have a little more success in recognizing words that fall into this lexical set, this family of words, and have some success in achieving the right sound, if American English is your target. Again, it's been fun being with you. On to the next stage of the lesson.